Hello and welcome to today's episode of Tax Matters. My name is Olumuyiwa Matuluko. Welcome to the month of March 2013. The year 2013 is gradually unfolding and satisfactorily too, if you ask me. The Appropriation Act for 2013 has just been signed into law by President Goodluck Jonathan, giving the much needed push to the economy. Unlike in the recent past, when halfway into the year, there will be no budget. Of course, you know that a boom in business activities in the country means that taxes will be collected, and that makes us happy. You can't blame us for thinking that way, can you? Today we are supposed to bring you part 2 of the interview with Mr. Jameyal of the FIRS and his colleague, Mrs. Chiaka Okoye, who heads the Project Management Office non-tax. But we are sorry that will not be, because we have other stories to tell you. So next week, the part 2 of that interview will come your way. What are the 3 stories? The first story we're going to tell you today is the story of the 2013 Corporate Plan Retreat and Enlarge Management Meeting of the FIRS, which was held in Abuja on Monday the 25th and Tuesday the 26th of February 2013. Are you a travel agent or tour operator? Do you transport people to Hajj or to Jerusalem or to Rome? What are your duties under the tax laws? We have a story that will answer some of your questions. And lastly, the third story will be the one on the send forth for those that the FIRS now calls senior citizens, retirees. It is the story of the 4th in the series of biennial post-service recognition ceremonies held also in Abuja. So if you are ready, we are ready to go. My name is Olumuyiwa Matuluko and the program is Tax Matters. Welcome back. The program is Tax Matters. It is said that he who fails to plan, plans to fail. In recent time, the Federal Inland Revenue Service has thrown itself up as a modern organization that plans and executes its plan methodically. And so for 2 days at the end of February, precisely Monday the 25th and Tuesday the 26th of February, top management of the FIRS, tax controllers, regional coordinators, state and zonal coordinators of the newly created government business tax offices, directors and coordinating directors, led by the acting executive chairman, Alhaji Kabiru Mashi, got together for the 2013 Corporate Plan Retreat and Enlarged Management Meeting. The purpose? To look back at the performance of the service in 2012 and chart the course for 2013.
It is a great opportunity for me to welcome all of you to this, our 9th corporate retreat, which is aimed at consolidating our unprecedented revenue collection of 5.007 trillion in 2012. Corporate planning gives us sense of direction. Organizations like ours do have the responsibility to plan for growth, and this requires analyzing how best to utilize resources. As a tax authority, our focus is principally on how to improve voluntary compliance in the payment of taxes. To achieve this, we must start thinking of enhanced electronic platform, simplifying compliance processes and programs to the delight of the taxpayers. The time and effort which the taxpayers, contractors, and staff need to spend when obtaining our services must be reduced. I implore all of you at the end of the day to create a more business-friendly tax environment.
In his opening remarks, Alhaji Kabiru Mashi, acting executive chairman, recalled that earlier, that is at the end of the year 2012, the 5 operational groups of the service had met to prepare the grounds for the 2-day retreat.
True to tradition, we shall be looking at our performances for 2012 down the line, with emphasis on those things, positively or otherwise, that made the year remarkable for the service. Ordinarily, I would have loved to stand here and eulogize about the FIRS and the staff for a landmark performance in 2012, achieving the highest cumulative tax collected in the history of the service, over 5 trillion. I choose this time around to be different, as I am tempted to ask the question, at what expense did we meet this target? That was a good performance. We could have done better. Need I remind you about our mandate as a revenue authority to optimally collect, assess, and account for tax revenue for the country? There is no gainsaying that this revenue source is the most sustainable for our economy and development, and it was upon this basic premise that we developed our vision and mission statements.
Alhaji Mashi also spoke about the concerns of President Goodluck Jonathan on tax administration in the country, as well as the performance pact between the FIRS and the Federal Ministry of Finance.
A very important question from Mr. President and Commander-in-Chief on our efforts at improving revenue collection was on the number of taxpayers that Federal Revenue Service has prosecuted for tax evasion in recent times, as we cannot claim that they do not exist. Do we, as a tax authority, put to practice a clear understanding of the concept of tax evasion and avoidance? Have we been able to draw the line between these two? Have we communicated clearly that evasion is criminal and that we intend to treat it as such? I think we need to send signal by prosecuting this act.
And of course, an item-by-item elucidation of the FIRS's goals and objectives for the year 2013.
On our new performance contract, we are on the verge of agreeing with the Ministry of Finance on the FIRS key performance indicators as follows. 1. Increase collection of non-oil revenue by at least 20%. That is in 2013. 2. Reduce preceding year tax arrears figure by at least 25%. 3. Conduct at least 3 public enlightenment programs for key stakeholders in every quarter. 4. Achieve a tax revenue to GDP ratio of 10% by end of the year. 5. Achieve at least 25% increase in filing compliance level by non-compliant corporate entities. This contract will shape our corporate direction in 2013.
Having done this, the retreat went into full gear, strategizing on how to put words to action and to achieve set goals, objectives, and targets. Then followed the various operational groups' presentations. On day 2, more presentations were made, after which plenary broke into syndicate groups. The syndicate groups presented their reports and then the wrap-up. In what one can really regard as a real wrap-up, Tax Matters spoke to Alhaji Mashi, who summarized the goals of the FIRS for the year 2013 in these words.
This year, the target given to us is 4.6 trillion naira. But all things being equal, inshallah, we have set ourselves a target of 5.6 trillion naira. And that's why we spent 2 days here, yesterday and today, to look at ways and means of how do we achieve this. And it's possible from the assurances I've been given by the staff. Because once there's harmony in the system, once the staff are supportive, it can move mountains. So God willing, all things being equal, we'll try to generate 5.6 trillion. And I think we have started on good ground, because if you look at our January collection, we collected 479 billion naira against January last year of 365. There's a clear difference of 109 billion naira in January. So I think it will be done, inshallah.
We wish the Federal Inland Revenue Service all the best. Are you a travel agent or a tour operator? What are your duties, your responsibilities, and your roles under the various tax laws, especially where it concerns withholding tax or value-added tax? In line with its modus operandi in ensuring effective taxpayer education, the Federal Inland Revenue Service Command in Lagos held an interactive session with the Lagos Southwest Zone of the National Association of Travel Agents and Tour Operators, with a view to educating them on their duties as tax agents and as taxpayers.
The membership of the association, they share two known organizations. They belong to NANTA by virtue of the fact that all of us here are IATA certificated. If you are not IATA certificated, you cannot practice Hajj and Umrah, which presupposes that we are into travels and tours all over the world. We've been having challenges with taxes, which I explained to one of the directors of the FIRS here, that's Mr. Orebaju, and he said, okay, that's not a problem, it's going to help us.
What we want to do is just to identify those areas where we have conflicts. And we have discovered that the major area of conflict is in the cash flow. Recognizing what in the cash flow constitutes income. It is income that is taxed, either for VAT or income tax. And income is not necessarily cash flow. Part of cash flow can be income. What do we mean by cash flow? Cash flow is all the monies that enters into the hand of a business. It is not all the monies that enters into your accounts that is your income. So the major issue now is what is income, or what we call revenue. We have identified three major cash flows. That is cash inflow now. We are not concerned with the cash coming out. We are concerned with the cash coming in. There may be many, but we have three major ones. Receipts from sales of air tickets on behalf of airlines. It is a cash flow that has come into the company. But does it constitute the income of the travel agency? No. In many cases, in our offices, because of the way your accounts are sometimes presented, our office will read it as an income for you. It is a cause of conflict. Because at times, many travel agencies will present the total cash flow from receipts collected as turnover. The second one is commission earned on sales of air tickets. When you sell a ticket to a customer, what we have discovered is that your own on that ticket is the commission accruable to you. Then the third major item is receipts from Hajj/tour operations. These are the three major cash flows. But the commission you earn normally comes within the ticket sales. And there are three ways your airline will treat the commission. One, you might already meet the total amount collected to the airline, and the airline will now give you another check for your commission. I don't know. Two, you might deduct your commission upfront. Either of these two ways, what matters to government is you have earned income from commission. Commission earned on receipts constitutes turnover, while sales of tickets does not. This is a major flashpoint, and let me explain why. When you present your accounts to us, we don't start looking at it. We don't tell you where is VAT. Your representative will now tell us that no, you are not to pay VAT. The VAT has already been deducted and remitted. But what I want to tell us today, which is authoritative, is that the VAT that is deducted and remitted is the VAT on ticket sales. And if you scrutinize your tickets very well, especially those people that now go online to buy tickets, you will see that you will see a charge on the VAT in the ticket. It will be there. So that VAT, it is only the airlines that must remit that VAT. It is not part of the travel agent's business. And the law says that every commission earned is an income, which must be taxed for income taxes. The law also goes on to say that for some businesses, when you are earning commission, two things must happen. And those two things, because they did not come at the same time, it is causing problem. And those two things are withholding taxes and VAT. Now, withholding tax first. The law says anybody that is being paid commission, something must be deducted by the payer and remitted to government as advance payment of tax of the payee, and that is withholding tax. Usually, it is corporate organizations that are mandated as agents of government to deduct. For withholding tax on commission is 10%. So if you are to collect 80,000 naira from your airline, they are mandated to deduct 8,000 naira and remit and give a check for 72,000 naira. But they must also give you a piece of paper to show that they have deducted 8,000. That piece of paper and the check they pay to you is your own turnover or your income. We have some challenges. One, are the airlines actually deducting? Two, are you guys actually going forward to demand for your credit notes? That is where we need to be alive to our responsibilities. If they don't deduct, you must tell them to deduct. And for now, I know most of the airlines have an inbuilt application that must deduct it automatically. So they are deducting and they are remitting. Have you gone to ask? If you don't go to ask them on time, they will not remit on time. They will use your money. And it's not even your money, it's government money, they will use it. Everybody likes free funds. But if you go to deduct, and if you go to collect, they will ensure they give you your credit notes. Why do you need it? The reason you need it is that at the end of the year, when you compute your returns and you file with government, if your tax liability is so much, the withholding tax already deducted, you can use the withholding tax already deducted to offset partially or fully your tax liability.
Yeah, okay, man. Yeah, wetin be this?
The deduction now for withholding tax.
Withholding guinea. Look, if una no pay me my correct money today, hey, munu get made you half for.
But madam, should be your company paying income tax.
Yes, that one na enough load for me to carry. Why una wan come add join am again?
You see, withholding tax now advance payment for income tax. So when you do some kind job like contract, we go remove small from am when we won't pay you.
I don't go contract am up. No. I bet tell me another.
No. We must pay the money to FIRS within 30 days, and they go give us withholding tax credit note to take show say you don't pay part of your income tax in advance.
So
Now to help make the money where you go pay at the end of the year small.
So this withholding tax something, it be like part payment of
Exactly, madam.
I beg you, give me my check.
Remember, come collect your credit note.
Withholding tax now for we own good. FIRS, it pays to pay your tax.
Now, what about VAT? You must charge the airline VAT on your commission. If your commission is 100,000 naira, the airlines, they cheat government and they cheat you. Do you know what they do? They now say VAT. They now pay you 95,000. I suspect that is what they do, because that's what they do in some industries. It is not supposed to be so. They will tell you your commission is VAT inclusive. No. That is why the government said every business must have a VAT invoice. In your invoice, you will show the amount of your service, commission as also percentage, VAT on that at 5%. Then the total amount they should render to you. So if your commission is 100,000 naira, the VAT of 5% of 100,000 is 5,000. Your airline must pay you 105,000. It is because of this particular issue that I suggested that you can invite the airlines to come so that their representatives can hear and raise questions or ask us questions.
So much was said, but we're afraid that is how much we can share with you today. Finally, on today's episode of Tax Matters, it is the wish of everyone to serve meritoriously and to retire in good health of body and mind and enjoy life as a pensioner. To achieve this, several factors and stakeholders are at play, a major part of which is the employer or the employing organization. On Wednesday, the 27th of February 2013, the Federal Inland Revenue Service showed those among its workforce who have just retired that he still cares for them and that they may have left service, but they are not forgotten. 246 distinguished men and women who the FIRS has chosen to refer to as senior citizens were honored at the fourth in the series of the biennial post-service appreciation ceremony held in Abuja. Again, the acting executive chairman of the FIRS, Alhaji Mashi, was on hand to preside over affairs.
The message I have for you tonight is for you to understand that retirement is not the end of the road. We have made adequate arrangements to ensure that you get all the necessary benefits and entitlements due to you on time. This occasion is a biennial event put together by the service to honor you in retirement and send you forth in grand style.
And indeed, in grand style were the retirees sent forth. One after the other, the senior citizens filed out to be recognized. Tax Matters wishes the retirees a happy life in retirement. And to you viewers out there, we wish you a very good week ahead. We thank you for watching. Bye for now.